It's November 27, 2023. I'm in Berlin, a new city completely different than mine and on the opposite side of the world from my hometown. It's cold, grey, and foggy. I don't know a soul here, I just arrived yesterday. To emphasize my isolation today, it's my birthday. It feels weird. For the first time in my life, I won't see my friends, my parents, or hug anyone in this day. Hopefully, we'll be fine, I think. The day doesn't seem very promising, but there are a couple things I'm looking forward to. The most important of them is visiting a museum, a building I used to study since I was an architecture student. I'm excited, I can't believe I'll see it in person. I searched it up and surprisingly, it's not that far away from where I'm staying. Perfect. I booked one of the latest entries available for 4:15 p.m. It's 3:20, I'm at the bus stop. My teeth are chattering from the cold, but I'm also nervous. I found myself trying to remember important details of the building. How was the entry? In what order were the paths designed? Some important areas, etc. I would like to get there a bit early in order to see all the exhibitions. Time passed by. It's 3:45. The bus is late. Darkness starts to settle in and I worry I won't make it on time. 3:50. My battery is already running late. I'm freezing and the bus is nowhere to be seen. By 4 p.m. I take a decision. The bus might come in any minute, but it may not. So I will take my destiny in my hands and start running. Best case scenario, if I run fast enough, I'll get there in 20, and hopefully they will let me in 5 minutes late. There is no other last museum entry, and I will fly back to Mexico tomorrow, so this is my only chance. I start running as fast as I can. The wind is barely cold, and it hits me like a slap in the face. Damn, German winters are no joke, I think, as I'm running. The air feels dense, my lungs feel heavy, and my asthma flares up. After a while of running, the museum starts to feel far away, and I doubt I'll arrive in time, but I have no other option but to try. It's 4:15 already. I've been running nonstop and I'm completely exhausted. The museum is still a distance away, and I have only 5 minutes to get there. I keep pushing. I can now see the museum at the distance, and they're letting in the last persons of my group. I sprint fast as I can. As I attempt to cross the street, a bus in high speed crosses right in front of me. Yes, it was my bus. I stare at it, thinking, fuck you. I arrive heart racing, sweating cold and exhausted, but glad that I made it in the last minute. As I enter the building, I began wandering through the museum's labyrinth corridors, eager to absorb as much as I can before closing time. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of movement. I didn't expect to experience the museum like this. My mind was still running 100 per hour until suddenly, I collide with a solitary, imposing metal door at the end of the hallway. It catches my attention. There are no signs at the door, no texts, but I see a couple of people getting in. Could it be, I wonder? Could it be what I think it is? I push the door and it cracks ominously, producing a strange noise that feels like it enters from my ear but is scrubbing against my skin from within. It's almost like the door is crying with a dry scream. I step into the space and everything turns black. Silence. The heavy door shuts behind me. Everything is dark except for a solitary white hole in the sky. It's a dot of light that doesn't illuminate anything. It merely signifies an open path high in the sky. The room eerily mimics the outdoors. I can feel the biting cold and the snow softly falling, except I'm enclosed. Everything is pitch black, and the lack of noise is filling the room. I shiver, realizing I have no jacket. The darkness feels like a dense curtain surrounding me. I can't see the walls of the room, and I'm afraid I might bump into one, or into someone. I feel lonely. Yet, I'm not alone. I hear whispers of people around me, but they remain elusive. After a while in the suffocating darkness, a growing curiosity begins to emerge. What is the sense of void? The darkness feels vast, yet hollow, amplified, yet immediately close. It doesn't feel near. It feels as if it's merging with me. It's as if I've become one with the shadows. They trespass me. I can no longer perceive my body, and my curiosity about myself intensifies. I can't see myself. How do I look? I can't remember clearly. I can't see anything, so I began to touch my face. Oh, right, I have a round nose, I think, like my dad. A small chin, like my mom. I touched my hair, my dark hair, that my grandma loves. Now I can't help it. I'm thinking about my loved ones and how they gave me so many gifts. Is this what blind people feel? The experience of feeling and imagining things without seeing anything? There was nothing else but my imagination. I moved my hands. The lack of light stole my sense of form. I feel formless. I can now hear my thoughts echoing in what it feels someone else's voice. How do my hands look? My mind inquires. I can't remember, I reply. I start to focus on my hands. They've been with me all my life, and I can't picture them. I'm not even sure I'm truly staring at them. I'm trying, but I can't. I touch them again, exploring. I start wondering, what is left if I don't have a body? What is left if those thoughts don't belong to me? After a while, a girl I met early approaches me. She says, "This feels so creepy." I can hear somebody say, I'm not sure it was a thought inside my head or someone else's voice, but they say, "I feel like I'm gonna die." I keep staring at my hands. We're trying to stare at my hands. And I just remember thinking, replying to that one thought. I know. I love it. I loved it. I loved every single part of it. So that was my experience in the Jewish Museum in Berlin, designed by architect Daniel Libeskind. It was amazing. It was so cool. I definitely felt like I was about to die, and I was like, this is amazing. It was one of the best experiences of my life ever, like so far. And yeah, and I don't know, it's just like I just felt like sharing my experience because honestly, okay, so I think that um architecture is purposeful, and it obviously depends on the purpose of each building. I mean, in this one, the architect definitely wanted us, the people who are gonna experience the museum, to feel what the Jewish felt when, for you to experience what they felt when they entered one of those like gas cameras. Okay, so it was not only about the Jewish history, but it was also about kind of like empathizing with history more, and yeah, just having that level of sympathy and sensitivity around the topic. And definitely like that's what architecture does, is just kind of like it recreates, it materializes that kind of atmospheres so you can feel them. And every experience is so personal. Like definitely it was designed and it was manipulated or molded, like our experiences are manipulated, but yet they are very personal. And like the things that I was living, that's so mine and I'm so aware of it. But I don't know, I was so excited. I think that to me it meant a lot of things, mainly because, well, I've been thinking about my existence. I was just, I don't know. I mean, it was my birthday. I was already very like emotional. I was thinking about um what was my purpose in life. I was just trying to think of next year and like what of my goals for my next year and so on. But I don't know. I think that whole year, because I was like closing with my birthday, I was closing a year, right? Um I don't know, I was just kind of like remembering all the things that I lived that year, which was an amazing year for me, since I was like solo traveling for months, and I was experiencing a lot of things, and I kind of like paused myself as an architect, like I was just traveling and volunteering and doing other things that were not architecture. And I think that that one experience, it just kind of like made me remember, like, oh, wait a second, like this is my purpose, this is why I'm alive, to live. Like I'm alive to live and touch things and feel things and sense things, not only like see but like smell and feel and think. And like this is like the human experience is the reason why I'm alive, because I'm experiencing human things. I don't know, like it was so nice because it was not about thinking, a purpose as complex as, oh, I'm meant to be an architect and I'll be this and this and this. It's like, no, it's about just enjoying the human experience, and as complex as it can be. And definitely just being in that one space, just kind of like, I think it was peeling layers, because I entered feeling heart racing, feeling stressed out, thinking about a plan, because obviously my day started not as planned, so that stressed me out and I had expectations of it. So first was like my expectations, and then just thinking of like, okay, now my nervous system is like calming down and I'm in a different, completely like contrasting atmosphere from where I used to be, because I was in hallways, white hallways with a lot of people and a lot of noise, and then I was in a black space and it felt closed and it felt dark and it felt silent. So it was like the contrast, and then just kind of like slowing down and being at peace. And then I think I say peeling layers because I think it was just going like deeper and deeper and deeper into my own mind, and then into my own like soul. Because first was thinking, right? I was thinking, wait, I can't see anything. So you first think of things like, oh, I don't want to bump into a wall. If I keep walking, I don't want to bump into a person. Everything is dark, so it's scary. I mean, it's like, what if I walk and then I touch someone that's weird, or if I step into something. Then that's like the logic speaking, like, and you're afraid. And then the next thing is like, wait, like you're moving your hands but you can't see anything. So it's like, how do my hands look? Like, how do I look? How am I? I'm just trying to remember and trying to keep grabbing into that one idea of me. And I start to think of me, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm brown skin and black hair and round nose, and um I think I look very Latin or whatever, and brown eyes, like I'm short, just like touching me. And like I said, like just keep grabbing myself into that one concept of me. I'm Mexican and I look like this and like that, blah blah blah. And thinking about how my genetics were given me by my family, my ancestors, and so on. And there's like that layer of that concept of me just kind of like fades away. And then there's another layer, like it was like me and my identity, and it was like my thoughts, like I'm thinking this, like, does people think of this? Do people think that? And I was like, what if I'm not even that? Like, what if I'm not even that one person, the one who asks, the one who wonders, the one who has curiosity? Like, if I'm not even that it's questioning like what is left. And it was just like kind of like layer by layer by layer by layer, until I just completely felt like, wait, what's left? And it was like that one moment when someone said like I feel like I'm gonna die. I was like, I know, and I love it. It's so cool. So yeah, I don't know, it's so amazing. By the way, my birthday ended up being so amazing. Thanks to that one girl that I met, that was also solo traveling. We ended up spending the rest of the evening together. We went to some Christmas markets, some German Christmas markets. We drank a lot of blue wine, and then I met another friend, and she made a surprise birthday cake, and it was so amazing. I don't know, like I just want to shout out to them if they're watching. Because they made my birthday really nice. I was not expecting none of that, so it was really cool. And I don't know, I just think that really that's like going back to the story of the building. I think that's the whole point of architecture. Like, it's meant to make us feel things. That's the whole point of the material world. I firmly believe that the material world, it's nothing, like it's not apart from the spiritual world, and it's here for a reason. Like, it's here to make us feel things, to experience things, and to elevate us. So I don't know, I'm just so happy that architecture exists and the material world exists, that we are material beings. And I think that this is something that anyone can feel, because if someone is watching this, they mean they have a body. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't, if you lack a sense, like if you can't listen, or if you can see, or if you can smell. If you are a human, you have a body and you can feel things, you can experience the material world, you can touch things, or just feel things as with your intuition or so on. And that's your vehicle, like that's your tool that you're gonna use to experience all of it, like all the world. And architecture is like the material world, but designed, but well thought, but manipulated, but touched by a person. And I don't know, that's it. Like, that's the whole point. That's what I wanted to say. And I feel so, yes, I'm happy. I just wanted to add that um, that kind of things happen in many buildings. Like, you don't have to go all the way back to Berlin. Like, you don't have to go all the way back to Berlin to experience that specific feeling. Like, it's literally anywhere. I think it's just, you just have to be like more aware of your senses and the room. But yeah, I don't know. I was just gonna say that definitely, like, I would give credit to the architect for designing the space the way it is, because obviously, very small details like the fact that I didn't have my jacket when I entered the room, that was well thought, because obviously they take out your very puffy big jackets when you enter the museum. You put everything, even your bag, on a locker. So that makes you experience the room in a different way, because you don't have anything with you. You don't have your jacket, so you feel extra vulnerable, and you don't have your bag, so you're not worried about losing anything. And those kind of details do matter. The fact that the room is on the main level, it's not like on the upper levels, it also affects, because I think it adds, like I said, like that level of sensitivity, like, yeah, sensitivity to the topic of um the Jewish history, because from the rest of the museum, like the rest of the exhibitions, now you just feel a bit more, I don't know, like sensibilized. And yeah, I think you feel like your skin was peeled off in a way, because it is very different as if you enter the museum and you just walk and just be like blah 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 and just looking at it and taking pictures or whatever. It's very different that from, having that one experience that's like pff, a shock, and then now you're just more aware of um just, yeah, kind of like I said, empathy, kind of more aware of and more conscious of all these things that you're watching in the museum were people and they were alive and they felt this. You're more aware of the Jewish history. So it was such a nice experience, and I really like writing this one text. This is what I lived last year on my birthday, and I thought of sharing it. Thank you. Bye.